we'll just see how long before it pops up on the channel, and then I can share the link in the Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the same thing for it
It's a
to.
little grainy, but I feel like you're not moving too much. It should be all right.
We are live
Catching up.
on the channel, and then I can share the link. There we go. I've muted myself. Let me bring the chat room up because there'll be a lot of people come into the chat, and then you can ask the last questions and stuff. Oh, where is the chat? The chat box is not loading up very well. It'll pop up eventually. Let me just grab the link.
All right.
You guys feel free to chat away while I'm getting everything set up.
Oh, for sure.
Talk more about Shawnee.
I am going to share the link to all of
Fernando's still there? Is he froze up?
No, he's still there. He's talking.
Oh wait, you can't hear me?
Yeah.
Josh, can you hear me?
Josh, can you hear Fernando?
I can't.
Fernando, do you want to say something?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still picking up your audio. So it's coming through. Everyone's audio is coming through on the stream. You just can't hear each other.
Huh. That is weird.
We will see how it goes.
All right. I'm just sharing it all over.
Hey, Dion, how are you, mate? The chat has fired up.
Hey, Josh, can you hear me? I don't think so. That's going to be...
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to this.
Let's see. Maybe would I be able to jump off and log back in with no issues?
Yeah, you should be able to. All right, Josh, what's happening is Fernando is going to pop out and then he's going to zoom back in. So hopefully everyone is there. Hang on. There we go. We've got chat coming in. So I'll be able to, I don't know if you can see it popping up, but if we've got questions from the chat room, I'll ask away. So.
Okay.
Yeah, for anybody, I think Fernando's going to disappear in a minute and then he's going to pop back in. But we were speaking with Josh earlier and he's got some exciting things coming up and some exciting stories to tell about Lake Shawnee and his other investigations, haven't you?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be kind of surprised and ready to go for sure. The other
best internet connection here tonight, so everything's a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully by the time it makes it to the channel, it's not going to be too bad. So we've got how many people in so far? There's probably not many in just yet because we're only early into it. Yeah, there's only a couple of people in there watching just at the moment, but that will build up. So do you want to, again, now this is just complete live chat and stuff like that. I know Dion, he's one of the guys on my team. And do you want to just let him know about some of your experiences that we were talking about earlier, just at Lake Shawnee? Fernando, are you there?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
I can.
Yes. Yeah, so we're all clear on that.
All right.
So well, I guess we'll start by saying it's most definitely a bucket list location if you guys have not heard of Lake Shawnee. It is in West Virginia and it's pretty incredible. Out of all the places I've ever been, I would say it's probably number one on the bucket list. Now with that, you've had a bunch of things happen there. There's been a Native American burial site that was unearthed. There's been massacres on the land. There was a young girl that died there. There's been all kinds of strange and interesting events to happen on the property, making it one giant pool of paranormal activity. So if there's any place that I say go, it is most definitely Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. So yeah, that's
See, we didn't have
that's
Jax available. We could have brought Jax in as well.
Oh, that would have been awesome. But yeah. As far as Lake Shawnee is concerned, there has been a lot of incidents with the amusement park. You know, the kids drowning, unfortunately. The incident on the merry-go-round. Apparently, a truck. I'm not
yes,
sure. I can't recall if it was an ice cream truck or a delivery truck.
it
It
was a
was
delivery
it
of
was
some
back.
sort.
Yeah, so it was backing up, and a young girl that was on going around the merry-go, hit the truck while it was backing. And also, one of the most interesting stories that Chris, the owner, was sharing, was that of a family. Um, I'm not 100% sure if it that it if it's facts, as far as I'm saying it correctly, not from what he told me. But there was a family. The husband and a couple of his kids went out hunting, and the wife and two kids stayed behind. And
Mhm.
then, Indians came in. They were, massacring the family. They took one hostage, and that's when the husband gathered all of his friends to go try and get his family back. Am I correct?
So with that, you had some of the Shawnee Native Americans did attack the Clay family, even they were under a peace treaty, and they did have purchase to that land. So the eldest daughter, um, one of the older sons, and the eldest son, I believe, were attacked. Where the other children were taken by their mother to go down the street to stay with a neighbor. That way, everything was okay. And Mitchell Clay came back, unfortunately, to a site of his family being dismembered, burning, and some were even skinned. So yeah, it was a very not a very pleasant sight, I assume, to walk back to with your family.
Yeah.
Dion's turned around and he said it was his son or something like that.
Uh, yes, I know one. I know there was a couple of kids that were unalived during that time, and his son, the Clay's son, was taken. And then when they found him, he was burnt or something like this.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So yeah, basically, I believe that they were actually staked up when they found them.
yeah, yeah. And again, we was talking about it earlier. That trail leading down that is in between, to my left is the lake, and to my right
Mhm.
is just open woods. It almost looked like a swamp area, but due to the cold, everything was frozen. But that trail, that when my phone went from 90 to 10, it was actually leading up to the headstone. And I wish I
Mhm.
could have taken you guys, or at least reached it, but I don't think my phone would have made the trip across that lake, because it was gonna die. I was gonna lose you guys anyway.
Yeah, I remember that. It died really quick, really quick.
Now, with that, we also had a kind of a glitch with your camera too. You remember that?
Oh yeah, my photo camera, when I was taking pictures. Thankfully, I have it all recorded. I don't think I put it up yet, but I will put together. I'm still going through stuff from Lake Shawnee. unfortunately, I don't have, I have a regular job, a regular life. So, but yeah, I was taking pictures and fully batterized camera. And it just was having issues taking pictures. And then when I looked at it, it was dead. I even showed it to Josh. Look, my camera is about to die. And then, finally it let me take a picture. And then when I looked at the camera again, it was full battery. So we had the battery go down and then go back up. That never happened before. And it was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark
and this
said
was
he's loving
during.
tonight's subject.
See, this was also when we were talking about we were walking and Fernando had the K2 go off, and we wound up talking to a 14-year-old boy who had died there. That was when this camera got sapped, is when that energy was being placed. So, like when he was taking pictures, it was interesting too, because he's like, okay, this would be cool if you would allow me to take a picture now. And that's when his camera started working again.
Yeah, that was
So,
awesome.
Just before we
And
go any further, I just want to let everybody know who's tuning in and watching that if you come over to the YouTube channel, at the YouTube page, which the link's up on our page, you'll see the chat off to the side. If you want to ask any questions, feel free to just put them in the chat and I'll put them to the guys. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Gotcha. And also, concerning the K2 ringing, the K2 started ringing. I know we were walking, and I asked, due to my earlier experience with the same K2, same area, it was going off. I asked, if you're with me again, can you make the K2 go off? And right on command, boom, it started going off. Just the expression on your face. That's actually up. I put that's actually up. I know I posted it. But yeah, man, that place is absolutely amazing. And just to think that Josh said earlier that night wasn't even, like that it was quiet. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go back just to feel, just to experience the full potential of what could of what could potentially happen there with so much history that place brings.
I want to step this up, right? Because when we did the live stream with you, you sort of stuck the camera through the door of what you're calling the fun house. And then eventually you got in to show us a little bit of it. Tell everybody in the live stream what it was actually like inside, because it creeped the crap out of me looking at it. And I just want to get in there.
Well, that night, first time, the door didn't even want to budge. Like the door didn't want to open. You remember? And
Yeah.
then, I kind of just gave it like one last, hey, if I can't get in, I can't get in. But when I gave that last little, it kind of opened pretty freaking easy. So I was like, okay, all right. Anyway, so when I got in, as soon as I got in, that it just felt really as though, just the energy. Maybe I was extremely excited, or maybe the animosity and all of this, but once I went down like this little small hallway, and once I turned, there was like a lot of plastic hanging, which is part of the fun house. And it to me, it felt like if I would have gone further, just with everything I was feeling, it was very overwhelming once I got to the plastic area. But I think if I would have passed that plastic area, possibly would have passed out or something. That's how heavy everything was feeling. And then, like how I said earlier, thankfully I didn't go, because if I would have passed the plastic, turned left, there was another little tiny room that had a whole bed with a sheer, thing that it just looked. I think I would have sharded for sure. For sure.
So he actually asked me too. He's like, "Have you ever been in that area?" And I was like, "No, dude, no. There's something I just, like I've never touched it, for the reason of like it makes me feel uneasy." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go in there."
I mean, hey, But I ended up going the next morning. I actually did a live on TikTok walking through it, and again, that every time I'm out in the field, I'm recording with a voice recorder. So I caught an EVP. I didn't get to go through all of the voice recording, unfortunately, but within 10 minutes of me pressing record on my voice recorder, I caught something. So I can only imagine when I freaking start really analyzing all of the recordings, and I want to go back. Better weather for sure. So let's see. I'm still thinking about the whole March, just in case, because I know there's an event in March.
That's the next thing I was just about to say for the guys that are watching at the moment. Do you want to tell everybody what you were telling us about what you've got coming up this year, and then tell us about the locations? Because I know there'll be a lot more people wanting to jump on a bloody plane hearing about some of these spots you've got coming up.
Okay. So yeah, these guys have kind of already heard it, and I'm pretty sure Gary about jumped out of his seat. Um,
Almost, he
so
cursed you guys. He cursed.
I did.
he did.
I did.
He in fact did. So if any of you guys have seen, there's a tour company called Mysterious Adventures Tours. They do tours all over the United States, well, not all the United States yet, but all over the world. Ireland, Egypt, and you have, Transylvania, and anywhere you could possibly want to go within the realm of the paranormal, they do these things. And those are all bookable if you guys go to their site. But we're doing a new experience, which is US local. So this is all in the USA, traveling to different locations, giving tours, doing, lockdowns, stuff like that. And I'm going to be the ambassador for these particular tours, so I'm going to be guiding people through them, and these are all weekend events. So we do have some spaces to where you can book a little more. I believe 4 days is what it is versus three. So you get like the kind of okay, here we are. This is going to what's going to happen. We'll hang out, get to know each other, stuff like that, and then after that we go into the weekend, and we'll do all kinds of history and lockdowns and all the cool stuff. The very first one I have coming up, well, yes, I will pause after this. The very first one is in April. That is Bardstown, Kentucky, and Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
He's cursing again, you guys. He's cursing again.
Yeah. All right. Before you move on from there, we've got a question in the chat in the chat from Dion. Dion wants to ask, can you get Josh to give us a quick rundown of his paranormal background, and then from there we'll jump back into locations.
Of course. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a guide here in Savannah, Georgia. I have been so for about 6 years now. Along with that, I am a paranormal guide. I'm a clairvoyant, so when I say 6 years, yes, it's been 6 years that I've been in the field, but I was born with abilities, so I would say my entire life I've had things going on. Now, with that, I've investigated numerous locations, and I'm always, always, always constantly traveling whenever I get the chance to go to new locations and experience new locations. Um, as far as the paranormal side, I am very well versed on equipment and things like that. So if you bring out a piece, it's more likely that I've seen it and used it. I'm very, I always, always, always want to know more. So I've made sure that if there's anything that is right in my face, I already know it. Now with the clairvoyance, I'm clairaudient. I do have clairvoyant visuals. The best way I've explained it to people is I'm like a human spirit box, basically. So if there's anything going on and it's presented to me, I do voice that. Um, Now I can't. A lot of people get the idea that like all mediums and stuff are the same. Like I can talk to spirits. Like spirits talk to me. Like I have that going on. But if someone walks up to me and goes, "Hey, is there anyone around me right now?" I can't tell you that. That's who I am. Like, unless someone is presented to me, I just don't know. But if that person speaks, then sure. To where you have, the other side, to where you have mediums who specifically do that. Um, that is not the case with me. I'm simply, I don't know, a messenger. I've had spirits grab the back of my head and use me like a little puppet, basically. But that's, that's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, I've been doing it for about 6 years, professionally, anyway.
So now that we had a break and I've recouped myself, you can move on with telling us about some of these locations you've got coming up.
Okay.
Location number 2.
Location number 2. I don't know if you guys like battlefields, but in September we have Gettysburg. So that's going to be another immersive location that we'll be going to, and we'll be doing a weekend there and learning the history. And
Gettysburg is in Pennsylvania, just so people could know, the states and everything.
No, we'll also be doing paranormal investigations there as well. So all of these locations are not completely paranormal, but they do have paranormal sides to them. So they were asking a little bit earlier, like, say you've never done an investigation or anything like that. That's what we're here for. We want to bring people in who just might even have an interest in it. I am a huge history nerd. So whenever I'm told that I'm going to a place, you best believe I have the books open and I'm reading. So there will be times where if you guys have any questions or anything like that, that I will be able to answer them. If I don't know, that's why we got Google.
That's for sure.
But
that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll make sure that everyone is well taken care of. And with that, I know a lot of these people that do these tours, and a lot of them are very well knowledgeable on the things that I'm doing as well. So if any questions go around, you'll have someone to ask at any point for sure.
Oh, sorry, I'm still trying to prepare myself for what's coming.
For sure.
Mark's turned around and said he appreciates the battlefield thing.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it too. Gettysburg is one of those places that I haven't touched yet, and I'm very excited to delve into the history and learn way more about it. As far as the paranormal goes too, like I'm sure that place is incredibly active.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's basically in most paranormal investigators' bucket list. That's for sure. Gettysburg is really up there, and just so you guys can know how reliable and knowledgeable Josh is. 3 weeks ago, I took a road trip to go to North Carolina, and we was ahead of schedule, so we ended up, hey, let's stop by Savannah, Georgia. This was like what, Josh, like 10 o'clock in the night?
Yeah, I was actually, you texted me. I was in the gym, like doing a chest day, and you're like, "Hey, I'm about to stop by to Savannah," and I'm like an hour away. So I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Let me hop in the car
Josh
real
showed
quick.
up. Josh showed up. He told us where to meet him. We ended up going. Was it Madison Square? Madison
Yeah, it
Square.
was. Yeah, it was.
So, man, like I've never been in a tour like. I mean, he didn't come prepared to give a tour, but I've never heard the stories that came out of this guy is just amazing, and it was. Let's just say I'm gonna start looking into booking a ticket, especially for Waverly Hills, because if you're gonna speak on that, that's gonna be freaking interesting.
Well, yeah, just to fill everybody in.
I've already started delving in that too.
We actually recorded an episode before we went live, and the locations he's got coming up. When he said Waverly Hills, I was like, "Oh, what?" But like what's just keep getting better and better, because you wait until you hear what's coming up, man. And there's one, as soon as you hear it, you're all gonna go, "Ah, shit, yeah, that's Gary."
Let's hear number 3.
Yeah, what's
Now, with
next
that
up?
one said, I might skip over it and leave it for last with your reaction last time.
Oh, that's number 3. So yeah. We got to
Uh,
leave the last one.
oh no, number
Well,
3. Number 3 is in West Virginia, and we're
that's all
doing
right. That's
Mothman
another good one.
and a cryptid experience. So that one's going to be in June. But any of you guys that like cryptids and things like that, there's going to be a couple guides, and I'll be one of them. And we're going to delve into that, and we're going to have a TNT night too. So, um,
Yes, he's talking about Point Pleasant. He's talking about, well, famous for the Silver Bridge collapse, but the TNT area and a certain red-eyed cryptid that can fly around. Yes, continue. Mark's
now,
gone. Let's go, Slug. Oh, there goes Slug again.
okay.
This is awesome. Cheers, guys.
Keep it going. Number 4.
You just skipped.
Oh, number 4.
You just totally skipped over bloody the Mothman.
No, he said the
No.
Mothman.
Yeah,
No,
no, but you
I'm
stopped
still
it
on
and
the
you go, "Next
Mothman.
to me."
He's just telling me
Oh.
number 4.
No. Let's
Give it a
let's
bit
keep
of
it going with the
airtime, dude.
Mothman.
The Mothman.
I'm sorry. It's just,
So if
maybe
any of
I'm
you-
just anxious for you to get to the one that's gonna knock Gary over.
Yeah, I'm preparing myself for that one already.
Now, this is
But
not a
getting onto the Mothman
one-eyed,
one,
one-horned, flying purple people eater. This is most definitely Mothman, and we will be in West Virginia doing the cryptid history and everything like that on Mothman. And we have some people coming to help me out with that one who are very well versed in the cryptids. So
how far in
what
advance
I
would
want.
you prep for one of these tours?
Oh, I've already started like writing. Like that's if there's history to be known, I want to know it. I don't like going in and not
There's some
just
very
I like
interesting-
every question to be able to be answered.
Yeah, there are some very interesting sightings about the Mothman. Those people in that car that were getting chased. There's been people with dogs from the backyard seeing the eyes glow in the tree at the back. There are a number of different reports, and the Mothman, he has been sighted in many other places. And do you have a take on whether he is a harbinger of death, or if he is a person or a being that is warning of something coming, or if he is just some sort of an interdimensional being doing some sort of a dark tourism kind of thing and just checking out these locations?
With that, I don't really know. Like I know that there are numerous different
Get ready for that one.
No, so it is further down the list, so I haven't done like a bunch of research on it yet, because that is not until June. I'm trying to get Waverly Hills and Gettysburg studied up on first.
Yeah.
We did have St. Augustine on the list, but that got shifted to next year. So St. Augustine is going to be in 2027. Oh, oops, my bad.
You didn't say that one before.
Because it's 2027. It's not there yet.
There's a famous UFO crash out there as well.
In
But
St.
yeah,
Augustine?
we'll be hitting that
Mhm.
one, and in 2027. Yeah, it was supposed to be next month, but it got shifted to 2027. So we'll be booking for that at the end of the year.
All I can say
And
now
I
is
do
if
believe
you
they're
go
going
in
to
Roswell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Georgia, so
There you go.
But no, with the Mothman, I do believe it's all subjective with the sightings, because there are so many different renditions of it. I'm not 100% on what exactly he would be in the realm of, if he's just the harbinger of things to come, or a harbinger of death, or just a entity of sorts. I'm not 100% on how I feel about him yet. But we'll get there, and I will have a question. I will have that question answered by the time I finish reading.
Oh, hey,
Well,
I
okay,
actually have an interesting question for you. So, since you've
What's up?
done so many years of tour guiding in Savannah, Georgia, you already know Savannah, Georgia, like the
Mhm.
back of your hand. So, have you ever had an instance where you're giving a, a tour? You know, you're in your zone giving a tour to a bunch of people, and since you're a clairvoyant, has anything come through and disrupted your tour, and you just had to talk about what's coming through, since Savannah, Georgia is just epic?
Yes, yes. There have been a couple times. Most frequently in Taylor Square, which is where we were first. When you guys asked where the most haunted location in Savannah is,
Mhm.
it's Taylor Square. Um, there have been numerous occasions where I've had to stop because either I was getting interacted with, we had a piece of equipment going off. It, you name it, it has happened within that square. I mean, I've even had the point to where like it something came to me and basically took over my mouth. So, and I've had that, and then like I think the weirdest feeling I've ever had in that square was I had an entity actually walk through me in the middle of my speech. And I felt like I was gonna throw up right there in front of everybody. So yeah, there's been numerous times.
All right,
Man.
all right. After you just said that, I've got a question for you. When a spirit walks through you, how does it feel for you? Do you feel like a physical boof boof as it walks through, or is it just glances through and you just get that sick feeling?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever been shocked before, like at any time. Electrical shock, just like a little tap. Well, imagine that like all over your body, but it feels like it's moving forward, and then it exits like it's just like somebody punched from your inside out. Like that's what it feels like.
Mm.
And when I tell you my stomach turned so quick and I probably turned green, that's what happened.
Mm.
I have to
Mm.
say hello to Lana because she always comments on my beard. So hello, Lana. Uh, the new guy is Josh. He is a clairvoyant and he's a guest. We've recorded an episode with him, which will be coming out next week. But we decided to ask if he wanted to come in for the live stream, and he graciously said yes. And he is telling some stories, and he's told me about a couple of locations coming up. That's going to make me absolutely, yeah, yeah. Like when 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 he says it, I just yeah.
Oh
Someone
man.
someone dropped an F bomb earlier when they heard something, so I'm
I
just
did,
gonna.
I did, I did. So there goes monetizing that video.
Oh man. And then the young goes like, Beardy. Oh man, epic, epic. So, are we ready for number 4?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. July. You guys hold on to your seats or whatever you're sitting in because we mentioned this earlier and we about had 3 people fall out of them. Um, July we're doing Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh.
So if any of you guys have ever heard anything about that place, you know it is everything that has to do with anything. UFO sightings. You have uh, skinwalkers, which I'm terrified of. Uh,
My
just
bucket list
the
location.
activity of that place is going to be crazy, and I'm so ready for it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Let's just say I'll start to save now because I'm going to have to get a airplane ticket across to Utah, and then I'm going to have to find my way from the airport, which is a pretty long trip from Perth in WA in Western Australia, to get out to Skinwalker Ranch.
Hmm.
Oh, man. That is
Now, as I said,
seriously. I
all
don't
of
know.
these are
As soon
going
as
to
I got up
be.
to that gate, you know, the logo on the gate, that'd be it. Selfie, selfie, selfie. And yes, Lana with the green glasses on. Selfie, selfie, selfie. Yeah, that's.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Sorry, I'm a bit excited when you talk about Skinwalker Ranch.
I
Okay.
would,
And
man.
trust, we're going to.
We're gonna have to really look into all of these bookings because I'm definitely gonna look into most of these tours. Kentucky. Um, Obviously, I've been already twice to Georgia. So I'm not afraid to travel, and if you're gonna go somewhere, definitely gonna be down. Definitely gonna be down to take you guys.
Josh, Dion has asked, have you ever come across
What's
a
up?
location on one of your tours that you feared for people's safety? Oh,
I
is he
can't
there?
say that
Oh.
particularly in Savannah, I've feared for people's safety. Um, I no, not here. There's never been a time here to where I'm like, okay, guys, we gotta go. Majority of the locations that I delve in, very peaceful spirits.
Yeah.
There are a few where they're grumpy, but that's about it. They're not gonna do anything.
Mm.
But yeah, not on tour. No.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
Now, going back to Shawnee, that's a different story.
all
But
these locations.
yeah.
All these locations. Before we go any further, anyway, for anybody who's interested, if you look up Joshua Haney on Facebook, you'll get the links to all of his socials, and when these tour tickets come up, they'll be all there for you to have a look at as well. So check him out because obviously you're gonna let's just say if you do the
Yeah, as of
Skinwalker,
right
you need
now,
to meet me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
as
thing.
of right
but,
now, they're not all bookable. So I'm going to, if you guys follow me on socials, I'm going to be posting them when they come up. So just watch out for the links and stuff like that. And guys, it's going to be an incredible time. And we do small groups as well, so you're not going to have 30 people in front of you. We're only doing like 12 to 15 max. Like that's the biggest group. That's like, okay, these people have family that's coming with them, but that's it. So
All right.
they
So
are small events.
friends and family discount over here.
I wish I could say, hey, come on, but no, sadly.
Oh,
No, if
man.
we did that, I'd have everybody on my back.
I bet. So we have Waverly Hills, we have Gettysburg, we have the Mothman Prophecies, and now Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, so far, man, Jesus, just the thought that you're gonna be in this position to go to just these 4 places, because there's still more that you haven't said yet, but just the thought that that you're gonna have the opportunity to just just do all the research. I mean, because not for nothing, the research, the history part of all of these places is, I don't know about everybody, but that is like the fun part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Going back to my favorite one, Skinwalker Ranch. Not only have you got all of the history and stuff like that, you've got the different things that have happened. You got the big Skinwalker out. You got the stories of that big wolf that approached the family and they shot that thing and it just turned around and walked off, and they shot it with a number of guns and stuff like that. You got the story of all the cattle disappearing and then finding them all basically crammed on top of each other inside that container. I don't know how real these things are, but from what I've heard, they're all supposed to have actually happened. And it just, I want to go there. I really do want to go there because I can do some paranormal investigation out at Homestead too. I could do a hell of a lot of UAP, UFO investigation out there. And you got the cryptids as well. So it's the three the holy trinity of everything there. So, wow, yeah. I
Well,
don't know what to say.
just so you know, I mean, this is the first year, but I mean, you may have numerous opportunities to come and hang out with me over the years at the same location. Just saying.
MJ.
Oh man, what's
I've got a
going on,
question. How
MJ?
much holy water do you take when you go on a trip? Now, I generally don't when I go, but I have other means of protecting myself. Well, how do you protect yourself, Josh, when you're on an investigation, or are you pretty good at shutting things down?
So a lot. I've been yelled at a lot. I don't cleanse at all. The reason for that is because when I do, I feel like it affects my abilities. So I don't. I don't want to limit what I can do. Now, I'm also one of those people who can shut it off if need be. So like I don't cleanse, but I can just basically like, okay, this is not happening right now. Like that's how I do things. But no, I do not do any cleansing whatsoever because I feel like it stifles myself.
Mm.
Mm,
All right.
yeah.
So I think I'm mentally prepared to move on from the.
So we're going to number 5.
We're
Oh,
going on to
okay.
the next one. Yeah.
You
Okay.
sound so sad now. What's
Now
going on?
he's like, I wanted to talk about Skinwalker forever. uh
Oh
there'll
man.
be opportunities. But this one's gonna be a birthday present for me because I was born in August, and in August we're doing Salem, Massachusetts, and the witch trials.
Uh,
So
Actually,
you
somebody
guys,
here has actually already been out to Salem, haven't you?
yeah, it's an amazing place. We've gone to, the actual, they still have the headstones. People do, place coins and stuff like this, to show respects. There's all the headstones. On the headstones, you'll get, the person's name, their, the year of birth and year of death, and how they passed away. All the small huts are still up there. It's right next to the infamous, geez, I've been to so many cemeteries, you guys. Jesus Christ. I have to say it's I think it's called the Union Cemetery. It's basically right next to the headstones. But yeah, Salem, Massachusetts.
Bye, Lana.
The only thing I have to say is that parking is ridiculously horrible there. So just prepare to walk. Prepare to walk.
don't
But that's
worry,
the
we thought
problem
of
when you
that
go
too.
anywhere good. You've always got the same thing with parking. It's always an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Except for maybe Skinwalker Ranch, that might be all right.
Well, hopefully your car's still there by the time you go back to it.
Oh my god.
And not stuffed with cows.
Goddamn. Anybody
Jeez.
want a burger?
So Fernando, I also have a gripe with you too because I saw that you were taking pictures over at Bonaventure and stuff like that, and you didn't hit up your boy like telling me you were back in town. That's kind of rude.
Oh man. No, trust when I say that you came, like I was about, but that was a last minute pit stop. And
Mhm.
on our way back home, we were, thinking, damn, like, are we gonna drive the 10 hours straight? By the time we get home, we're pretty much have like the whole day. So we were like literally in Georgia about to just leave, and we was like, you know what? Let's just go to the cemetery, because when I went to Savannah, Georgia the first time before I met you, um, we went to Bonaventure Cemetery, and but it was already after hours. It was, nighttime, so the whole place was closed. But we drove up to the gate, and you know, um, I was like, on our way back, I was like, man, it would be so nice to just walk around. And I've never been, again, I've been to so many cemeteries, but
Mhm.
Bonaventure is special. Like, it's like a
Oh yeah.
scene. Like, it's not just an empty plot with headstones. Like, it's so,
Mhm.
there's trees in there with the stuff hanging off. It's just so ominous. And then while we were there was when I read the story about Gracie. That story is freaking amazing. I haven't got to
Mhm.
doing like the short little video for it, but yeah, man, I'm sorry. It was just that you think that the 10 o'clock me reaching out was like last minute. No, no. This was like like we were in Georgia at the time, not knowing about any of it. And then, I did, bother you the first time. So I was like,
We've got a
I
few
know. I was
questions
looking
coming in
forward
from
to
the
it. Yeah.
chat. MJ wants to know, what are your thoughts on Bigfoot, and have you ever investigated his area, his spots where he's been sighted?
Me or Fernando?
For you?
Oh, for me. Okay. Uh, no, I haven't. I do find it quite intriguing, but I have not touched anything on Bigfoot. Now I am. It's on my bucket list right now to watch the Jason Mewes and Jack Osborne Bigfoot expedition that they did.
Oh, I've seen that one.
So
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I am very interested in it. But no, I have not particularly delved in that area.
Yeah, we've investigated the Yowie over here. I've actually got some footage, some thermal image footage of something peering at us from behind a tree, and we did capture some vocalizations which set local dogs off. So I've got that on the channel somewhere, and that's an interesting video. So I definitely think there's something to it. But another question for you as well is, actually, there's a couple of questions here. What got you started in the paranormal? And then the next thing is, what's your favorite creepy, interesting thing? These are all to Josh, by the way.
Okay. What got me started in the paranormal? Now, let me preface this by saying, yes, I'm clairvoyant. Yes, I've had that my entire life. It wasn't until I was really an adult, though, that I started paying attention to it. So that's part of who I am. But originally, um, I growing up wanted to be a history teacher. And for me, like, there was nothing more interesting in this whole world than delving into a history book and just flipping the pages and seeing what happened here, what happened there. Um, Now, with that, I figured out that I could become a tour guide. So originally, I went and drove trolley buses and was doing tours that way. But I came across a company in Savannah that did paranormal tours, and I had seen some of the stuff, and I got to talking to one of the co-owners, and he started showing me some of the stuff that they captured and all that. Mind you, this location that he was showing me stuff from is the historic Savannah Theater. It is the oldest still operating theater in the United States. It was built in 1818 by William J.
I've
It's
been
been
there too,
operating
Gary.
since it's been operating since 1820. So it's yeah. Um, but with that, I decided that I wanted to grab a job with them as well. And I became a paranormal walking tour guide. So we went out, we had equipment around the city, like all that stuff. And I really just started learning more and more and more and more. Now, with that, you guys, if you've been to haunted locations a lot, you notice that you start picking up triggers and things like that. Like your mind goes a little different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I started learning, hey, here's some stuff that I haven't been paying attention to. Maybe I should start paying more attention to it. And now, like, I'm channeling people and all kinds of stuff. It's really weird, but yeah. So 6 years ago is when I started within the paranormal. But
Mhm.
mind you, I've had these things happen throughout my life that I just now I'm like, oh, that was that, or that was that. I'm like, okay, now I really understand what was going on.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's majority of that one. Now what was the other one?
The
that you had
other
asked?
one was, what's your favorite creepy, interesting thing?
Hmm.
I don't know how you would quantify that, but let's just go with it and do your best.
That's a bit general.
Favorite
Yeah.
creepy, interesting thing. We're gonna keep it PG. Um, uh,
Oh man. I
um,
don't know. Gary earlier dropped the F bomb.
Actually, I do have a question for you though, right? As a paranormal tour guide, especially at some of these locations, do you ever get the opportunity to go in there all by yourself and do an investigation?
oh yeah, yeah. I've done that numerous times. Especially Savannah Theater. We've done Moon River too. Moon River shut down now. And yeah. So
Continue.
yeah,
Moon
yeah.
River.
Oh, all the equipment's still up, everything like that too. So I get full range of whatever. But yeah, we've done all kinds of places, and like, yeah, there have been times where I'm just like, okay, I'm here alone. We're gonna see exactly what happens. So yeah, to answer your question, at least 100 times.
I know that the majority of all of our reviewers right now they're in Australia, but I would love for you to just give a little, on how much uh activity Savannah actually has. That night when you met up with us, we went to
Mhm.
I don't remember which square, but you ended
It
up
was
saying
Taylor.
something. Yeah, so you ended up saying that that even my girlfriend, her mouth dropped. That you said something that along the lines of, so where you're standing at right now, there's like 7,000 people that were buried or something like this. We was like,
roughly 1700, but close.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, do you want to tell everybody we're going? It's going to keep popping back, but to Lake Shawnee. Remember what you were telling us earlier about how the horde rolled up, and tell us about
Right.
that.
Okay, so I showed Fernando an image when he came to Lake Shawnee, and if you guys want to see this image, it is on all of my socials, my Facebook, my Instagram, and my TikTok. It was a drawing that I did of this particular instance. I don't often do that, but this was something I felt that I had to show people. Okay, so Lake Shawnee, Abandoned Amusement Park, is in West Virginia. It is very well known for its hauntings. It is also very well known that it is built on top of a Native American burial site for the Shawnee Native Americans. They did some digging and they actually excavated part of this site and they found, I believe, around 2,000 people buried, particularly in that mound area. Now, there may be more scattered throughout the property, but that's what they found and they stopped digging. They had people come there with, x ray stuff to survey the land and see exactly how many people were underneath it. Um, Now, with that said, we were doing an investigation. And during the investigation, this goes back to the fearing for people's safety thing. Um, so like I love to say that all the locations that I've ever been to, there's just a guy named Paul that loves everybody. And Paul will shake your hand randomly and your hand will get a little cold and then you'll go on about your merry day. Um, which a lot of times Shawnee's like that. Shawnee, has very peaceful spirits. Like you'll just, meet up with random ones. Like there's a little girl on the property that unfortunately was killed. She's very peaceful. Um, there have been some weird um, things said about her. If you guys have ever read into it or anything like that, saying that she's like a bad entity, but no. Um, but with this investigation, this particular one kind of went a little sideways, um, to which it happens. It all is about, the energy you put out and stuff like that. And we, did a little taunting a little bit, and I think that may have shifted some of the energy. And with that, after that, we went over to the school bus that's on the property. Now, the school bus is something that I don't touch. It's not particularly that it's bad. It's just I with energies, I'm weird about it. Like the fun house that Fernando went into, he's like, "Oh, I want to go check this out." I was like, "I've never been in there because the energy makes me feel weird." But the school bus is one that I just don't touch. Um, so when they went on the school bus, I stepped on for like 2 seconds, kind of looked around, and kind of was seeing if I could handle it, and I was like, "No, we're not." So I walked off and I went to the gazebo area. Now the gazebo area, there is a path over here that's about a half a mile that leads around to that burial mound that I was talking about, where all the 2,000 Native Americans are buried. And if you guys have seen any of the videos on Lake Shawnee with me, uh, Jacqueline, and all of her team, you know that there is a headstone there that is for the chief. That is where that burial mound is placed, and if you ever go there, the guy Chris who owns the property will take you around and tell you all about it. But this particular burial site is a half mile away. So from where I'm sitting, the trail starts like right here, and there's a half-mile trail leading around to that burial site. Well, I don't know what particularly had happened for me to feel so out of it, scared, and like just feeling uneasy. But in that moment where I was just trying to recollect myself, I look over, and when I tell you, I see every person within that 2000 standing right beside me, wrapped all the way up that trail to that mound, coming in to protect the place, is what the feeling was for me. Um,
Man.
I have never been so frightened and so relieved at the same time.
Mm.
But
Mm.
from that, that's where I drew the picture. So if you guys go over to my socials and look at the picture, you'll see exactly what I was seeing at that point. Now, mind you, a lot of the things that I see are they block my vision, but I don't actually like see them physically with my eyes. It is legitimately like frontal lobe. It's right here. Imagine if somebody just all of a sudden slapped a piece of paper on your face.
Mm.
That's what it kind of feels like. Um, but yeah, that's what that image is of. Now they came and they surrounded the bus, and whenever anybody got off that bus, it was weird. It was like they were breaking off in twos behind the person, walking them over, and whenever that person would walk back, they would walk back with them. It was a very weird and incredible experience, and
Wow.
you know these are some things like in public I don't talk about them because people are going to be like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna get you a nice padded room and stuff like that. But it's if you guys are interested in any of that, like I do talk about it on my socials because that's what people know me for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that
we've
image
got
is
another
something.
question from the chat, and this is from MJ. She's asked, "Have you ever been physically affected by your clairvoyancy? If so, how did that come about? What happened?"
Well, I will say once again with Shawnee, I have had what people like to call a paranormal hangover quite a few times. So like your body is just recovering, like it's almost like your entire energy is drained, and it doesn't matter what you do. It's just going to be that way until it decides to recover. The
Mm.
first time that I was at Shawnee, it took me about a week. The second time took me a month.
Mm.
Um, and this last time I would say 2-3 days.
Mm.
So that's something that I deal with as well. Another one that I was talking about with them earlier is I've had, spirits walk through me and stuff like that too, which
Mm.
it feels like an electrical pulse going all through your body, and just like think of someone punching you, but they're punching you from inside of your body,
Mhm.
and then when they leave, it's almost like you just want to, I don't know a good word for this, upchuck everywhere. Like that's
Mhm.
just, you feel like you turn green in that moment.
Mm.
It's yeah,
Also,
yeah. It's
also
funny
with
how you
that,
said. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's funny how you said that you got this electrical sort of charge or zap when it walked through you, because that does add to one of the theories that there's a certain level of electromagnetic energy associated, whether it be they disrupt it or whether they generate it. And
Mhm.
it's just interesting that you said that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like a lot of people get like hair standing up and look at like the bumps on them and stuff like that. This one literally felt like I was being electrocuted. Like it literally
Wow.
felt like, so. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like old tube TVs, like with the big thing on the back that
Especially
just
Gary.
because you just because you unplug it doesn't mean that it's not charged. Just so everyone's clear of that. If you ever have to work on one of those TVs, make sure you let it discharge for at least 2 weeks before you touch it. I'm
Wow.
not. I may be speaking from personal experience, um,
Look,
to where I touched
because
one and had it blow
somebody,
me across the room.
yeah, because somebody's
But
already mentioned my age. I remember many a time when you turn those TVs off and you'd run your arm in front of it, and all the hairs on your arm would stand up.
mm,
The static
Yeah,
charge. Hell yeah.
correct.
especially the old projection TVs that are like
Mhm.
giant, those would be the thing. But this one was probably 24 inches, not like nothing crazy. But yeah, think if you've ever been like shocked, like real quick, like I'm not gonna say it's like a static shock, but it's literally like an electrocution is what
Mhm.
you feel just everywhere.
Wow.
It,
So
it will stop you in tracks.
so I'm not sure if that answered your question, MJ. But has just in case, has anything that with your experience, have you ever felt like you got like a serious temporary illness?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. So one of the biggest notes on that, I've had a couple of them, but I think one of the biggest ones I've had was I had an attachment for about 2 weeks. There was a lady that for some reason just attached to me. And when I tell you that she was screaming in my head for 2 weeks, and I couldn't
Wow.
figure out what was going on there, like I kept getting like she wanted help, but like that was all I was getting. There was no other differentiation from that other than like her saying help me, just freaking screaming at me. And I wish that I could say, oh, I have all the answers here, but you know even being who I am, there's no way. Like I can't see everything, I can't tell you everything, no one can. And if they can, then I want to talk to them because I need to know too.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that was the worst experience that I've ever had,
Wow.
being a clairvoyant.
All right,
Wow.
we got actually
Wow.
a cracker of a question here from Dion. Dion has asked, when you see the spirits, do you see them as they were before they passed, or do you see them as a result of their passing, like covered in blood or mutilated, for example?
Okay, so I'm going to say it's all in the way that they choose to present. There's never been a time to where I've seen, it doesn't look like the Sixth Sense. I'm going to tell you that right now. It
Mhm.
Mm.
doesn't. Um, I've never come across someone where like they were showing me, precisely how they looked when they died. But with that said, I also very seldom get clear faces. It's more of a outline. or like, you know, you'll have dark masses and stuff like that too. But it's never really been like that unless they just present themselves to me in the way they want to present themselves to me mentally. So if that answers any questions.
Mm, mm.
That's interesting. It's actually a really interesting question because you watch a lot of these TV shows and they always make it look a little bit different. And I've asked many people, because obviously I've dealt with a lot of different clairvoyants and psychics and things like that, ask them how they actually project themselves to people, you know. And some people say it's like watching the TV, you see people but no details. Other people, it's as like watching a high definition movie, and others it's just a feeling and things like that, you know. So it's interesting to hear how your take on it is. It's good.
That's for sure.
There's a comment in there that says Werewolf of London style. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but
it sounds like that.
that
It just reminds me of that video, Gangnam Style, back in like the early 2000s. But like a werewolf's doing it.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
All right, are we going to jump back to the list, because I can't remember where we got up to, because I sort of
the last
a certain ranch came up. So
we are
the last
we're
one
number
was
5.
Yeah, so we were on August in Salem, Massachusetts. That's one of the tours. The next one,
number 6,
guys. If you want to see somebody nerd out, you're going to on this one. Okay, so I'm very much gothic. I don't look I look like your basic white boy walking down the street. I normally have on a hoodie and probably sweatpants. Like it's just, you don't think it by looking at me, because that's how I choose to present. But I am very, very gothic in my mind. October, we're doing Edgar Allan Poe in Baltimore.
Gently was rapping on the chamber door.
Now, I have a funny story about Poe too, because like that's all I read. Literally all I read. Other than history, if you ask me if I'm reading like anything fiction, I was like, I've got 3 books on my shelf that all say Edgar Allan Poe on them. Open them up. But with that, I have a funny story, is because like when I was in high school, that's all I read, like all the time. Just because I've always found the way that he spoke in his writing so interesting and enthralling. Like you see everything you read. There's nothing that he wrote where you're like, meh, like that, nothing. And if you guys have ever read the story, The Oblong Box, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And if you haven't, look it up. You can find it on Google. Oblong Box, look it up. But with that, I had an assignment in school to finish a book that we were reading in English class. And being that all I read was Poe, I was like, okay, we're going to do like a little dark twist to it, and we're going to make it interesting. I forget what the actual book was, but maybe you guys know. There is a traveling circus, and their train stops. And with the circus itself, they have chimpanzees on this train. And there's a family in the book that interacts with the circus and helps them out and things like that. There's like, I believe, 2 adults and 2 young children. And it ends happily. It's a very peaceful and, very homey book. Like it's a slice of life type thing. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. They got to play with the chimps. They befriended the chimps. Everything like that. So I decided I was going to make it have a dark twist at the end. Now with this, what I did was, you have the parents at home. Mind you, circus, chimpanzees, everything's around, The two kids are out playing in the woods. Now, one of the things back in the day, I don't know if you guys know this, is when dinner was ready, the parents, to signal the children to come home, would actually turn a light on in the window, burn a candle, something like that. That way they would know, hey, it's time for dinner, come inside. Well, this candle's lit in the window. The children know, hey, it's time to come back. It's time to go home. They walk in the home, but they smell the cooking. They smell the dinner's done. But they look around and they don't see their parents anywhere.
Mm.
So they start traversing the house, go upstairs, and start hearing random noises. Just weird, odd stomping, stuff like that. Like, think paranormal, and you can't see it. It's all around you, it's all behind you. Shink! Down goes the first child.
Wow.
Shink! Down goes the second. The chimpanzees had broken into the home. They had found axes within the trailers themselves on the train
Jeez.
and came in and took down the whole family.
Wow.
So, within rewriting this, obviously I got sent to the school psychiatrist because they're like, "Are you freaking okay, dude? Like, are you okay? Like, do we need to do something here?" To which I replied, "I'm fine. I read Edgar Allan Poe." And the psychiatrist is like, "Oh, okay, you're free to go." That if this tells you about anything about my love for Poe and like the dark elements of writing, there you go.
Man, Edgar Allan Poe. It's in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's in
Another
October.
quick question from the chat, and that is, does our friend believe in divine ancestors or spirit guides? Have you ever seen them when you're having a clairvoyant experience, or have any of your family members or ancestors come forward to say hello?
It's interesting that you would actually ask that. Yes, I have two. I interact with them all the time, in fact. I have one gentleman. I've only ever seen his appearance once, like him fully showing me what he looked like mentally. His name is Anthony, and that has been my guide from day one. Um, Interestingly enough, that particular entity likes to mess with the women in my life. So anytime any woman has ever entered my life, there has been weird stuff go on. Threw a bench at my mother while she was cleaning her room one day. She had the bench set on her bed, flipped it over, and threw it at her. Uh, One of my ex girlfriends had headphones sitting on her table. They had been sitting there for 2 weeks, not moved, launched across the room. Um,
So is this like a form of your guide protecting you, or like what type of entity is your guide?
he's like a childlike asshole. That's all I can say about that. That's who he is. He likes playing practical jokes. My roommate, he's locked her out of the house 3 times. Um,
Jeez.
when
Are
I
you
wasn't
sure
home,
it's a spirit guide?
I'm positive.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
if this tells you anything about me, I'm literally the same way. I will play tricks all day long. That's what I love to do, which is probably why. Um, but his name is Anthony. Now, when I've ever seen him physically, think 6 foot tall shadow figure. Or he's presented in like the form of people that surround me. So, like with my roommate, sometimes I'll feel like she's walking down the hallway, not her at all. So it's just that's some of the stuff that he does. Now the other one, I just recently figured out her name. Her name is Alanis. Um, which before I always like I've asked on investigations and stuff like that, and I always got like every spirit box like spirit guide or something like that. That's it.
Wow.
But that was a recent finding. So yes, I do in fact have two guides that follow me all the time, and I do interact with them.
Wow. That's
Mm.
wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
And there, if you guys are interested in that, there's videos on my link tree as well that describe all of that and have some of the instances that have happened.
Nice. Nice.
Interesting.
Man.
All right, I don't know if I want to go back to the list. Should we go back to the list?
Go for it,
Okay.
man. Number 7.
All right. So we mentioned that I'm a tour guide in Savannah, but we're gonna go a little different with this one. I delve in dark history and things like that. Well, we're gonna go in November back to Savannah, and we're going to do monsters and phantoms of Savannah. So think cryptids, and we're gonna do that here, and we're gonna make sure that everyone is pretty creeped out by the end of it. I'm thinking is what I'm going with it.
So, what kind of do you know any types of cryptids are going to be involved with this one?
Yes, I already have one that's well versed that I study up quite a bit because it's one of my favorite stories. The Now I will say that this particular one is in other cities as well. It is a folklore legend. So if you guys ever heard the name Renee Rondolia or Renee Rondelier, now if
I've
you've
heard the
ever
name,
heard
but I
of,
don't know in what context. Yeah.
particularly in Savannah, that's Colonial Park Cemetery. Now Colonial Park Cemetery, he was said to be a 8 foot tall, basically wolfman looking person.
Oh, God, I was. Sorry, I was going to bring up the Michigan Dog Man, but we'll go with yours. Continue.
So the story basically goes that during childbirth, his mother actually had to have a doctor come in. Now, early days, you would have a midwife. That was all you would have during childbirth. It would help you through the childbirth. It would, give you anything you needed to get through that moment. Um, this woman was in labor for 7 days.
Oof.
So they had to have a doctor come in, and the doctor actually had to break her pelvis to deliver this child because it was so large.
Sheesh.
Now,
I'm
the
thinking
child that
things
came
like the
out,
Jersey Devil now, and things from the Bell Witch are starting to ring with me as well.
right? And with that, the child that came out was roughly, say, about 3 feet long. Um, and I forget the poundage they said, like 60 to 70 pounds is what's, I believe, rumored, and covered with long black hair.
God damn. So he's like ready for preschool already. They come on with a backpack. Jesus. 3
Now you
foot?
see why the breaking of the pelvis was necessary,
Jesus.
though.
It just pops up. All right, time for early enough to go to school. Let's go.
Ish.
Jeez.
Right. And so, upon the age of 17 years old, it is rumored that he was around 7 foot tall, around 350 pounds.
Mm. Damn.
Yeah,
So you can
that is
imagine,
really good.
that the townsfolk at that time were completely terrified of him. So, like, he didn't go outside much. The only time he actually went outside was at nighttime, and he would spend time within the cemetery, Colonial Park Cemetery. And that was his happy place. He would be found, playing with the animals and stuff like that in there. Now the problem with that is Renee was a very simple-minded person. He, didn't understand a lot about life. He didn't understand about death, anything like that. So when it came down to it, he would actually accidentally kill some animals just by, playing with them. Because you got to think this guy's huge. If he picks up a squirrel, it's like this. Like that's, it's hard not to it's hard to be simple and realize your strength when no one has ever been around you because everyone's scared of you. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Um, but with that, I mean, they'd find dead animals in Colonial Park Cemetery and they'd be like choked and stuff like that. And, like, people would be really freaked out about it when Renee was just really playing.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting my backrest a bit. I've got a question from the chat, and they've said when you see spirits and things like that, do they just come in then, or is there like a trigger object to fire up the activity? And they asked, have you ever seen spirits clairvoyantly in a remote sense, as in, you know, video chat or pick them up through the phone or something like that?
Remotely, I can't say that I have. That is an ability that I want, but I can't. My energy does not travel that far. And as far as like when they come in, it's more just like a popping up. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just, oh, you're there now. Like that's kind of the way that it happens for me. There have been trigger objects, yes. I've done home investigations as well, where, you know, people were asking, you know, what's going on in my house and stuff like that, where they've actually brought in particularly haunted items. And I hate to say that because majority of these items are like thousands of dollars that they paid for it. But yeah, those are the instances where there would be trigger objects.
Wow.
Like one of them was a chase that was probably 5 foot long that someone had shoved in their car and literally had to lean their seat forward like this just so they could drive the car to get it to the house. And then I told them after they paid like $5,000 for it that there's your haunted object. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Wow.
So
That's nice. Oh man. But before we jump into the next one, just a little fun fact. Since you mentioned Edgar Allan Poe in Baltimore. So if you was to go to, if you was to ever come out here to New York, because I've been to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. And there you'll come across the Washington Irving, who is the author or the creator of the Headless Horseman. And that cemetery it's amazing. I think, first is going to be Bonaventure, second would be Sleepy Hollow. And there within the property of the cemetery is the oldest church, the Old Dutch Church, which was built in the 1700s. So if you ever come across a trip coming down here to New York, that's definitely a place that you should definitely hit up. Fun fact.
Oh, I definitely have plans to come up there. Before I got to, into doing these trips, I actually had plans to come to Plymouth in Massachusetts as well. For those of you that are like, oh, what's Plymouth? It's literally where the Pilgrims landed. I've heard the Rock is
the Plymouth
incredibly
Rock.
underwhelming, but like the city itself is rumored to be incredibly haunted. And there have been a couple places in New York that I've heard about that I want to visit. There's a couple places in New Jersey where my friend Sean was talking about. His family lives up there. He's like, dude, you got to come check these places. Like, so yeah, there have been plenty of times where I've been like, I really need to get up there. So yeah,
I was going to say, if you're getting up that way as well, you definitely have to check out Roanoke.
Roanoke.
You don't know about Roanoke?
Funny.
The lost
West Virginia, right?
Roanoke Island down the east side, the northeast side somewhere.
Roanoke.
I'm not super big on the geography of America, but I know it's up that east side there. It's the colony, the Roanoke colony that all the Pilgrims came, and then the ships went back to the UK to bring supplies, and when they came back, the colony was gone. And that's where the famous thing, all they found in the tree was what looked like scribed out what was going to be, I think, Croatoan or something like that, which was one of the local tribes. And they'd never been seen or heard from since. They've tried tracking them down, and it's a really interesting story to get into. But and it's just funny, it came about because when you start talking about Sleepy Hollow, the TV show Sleepy Hollow, there is an episode where they do go into the lost colony of Roanoke.
Yeah, I can't say I heard.
I'm literally going to write that down right now because I need to read.
It will absolutely blow your mind. It's such an interesting read. You know, they don't know whether the colony just resettles somewhere else. They don't know if they were killed off by local tribes. They don't know if they ended up sort of almost merging with the tribe. They just disappeared, and they'd never been seen or heard from since. So you know what it's like when an entire colony can just disappear. Lots of stories and rumors and legends start to spread up.
Yeah, I think the most famous on that one's probably like Atlantis and like Nassau. Maybe.
All right. Let me see.
You're Googling Roanoke now, are you?
Oh no, yeah, I definitely saved it because surprisingly enough, I haven't heard of that one. So yeah, for sure. Thank you for putting me on, Gary.
It's a good one.
I always keep like an ideas notepad right beside me, like if I'm ever sitting down. So
in all honesty, that would be an awesome tour as well. The Roanoke tour. It's almost second to like the money pit of Nova Scotia or whatever it is. You know, the chasing the Templars' treasure on that little island. It's a similar kind of thing. The stories that come from it and everything. I mean, obviously there's no gold and stuff like that, but yeah, an entire town full of settlers gone, no sign.
Well, there's always room for me to pitch different tours as well. So,
hey, that's amazing. That's freaking amazing.
So there's a couple months that are being skipped that could be filled for sure.
Let's extend the list.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
2028 now.
So the last was number 7. I forgot. Was that the last one? No.
The monsters one. No. Monsters and creatures.
Yeah, so the monsters and creatures we kind of ended on Renee. When if you guys are more interested in that, come see me. Because we got a couple more that we're going to be talked about as well that I have yet to bring my stories to life yet, but they will be there. Now the last one. Now you guys have probably seen the Krampus parades and stuff like that over in Europe around the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but they do one in New Orleans too. And we're going to be going December 2026 to New Orleans to do the Krampus experience.
Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And
you're welcome either.
That is.
I don't know if you guys know anything about New Orleans and their parties, but I would imagine it's going to be a very, very good time.
Hey, I mean, honestly, you're going there for Krampus, and you'll probably come out just experiencing a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Oh, there is so much stuff there. You've got the witchcraft stuff. You've got the voodoo. You've got all that high religion stuff. You've got all the hauntings. I mean, let alone all the historical hauntings and places like the LaLaurie Mansion. How much stuff would have happened from when Katrina went through and so much devastation, and what are the untold stories of that about that as well?
There's no telling. Like the Katrina was massive, and so many people just got caught up in it. Like I remember watching the videos of people just being on top of houses. Like it was so much of a flood, and I can't imagine like what that would have caused the grave sites as well. Like, I mean, I know New Orleans has a thing where they try to bury above ground that way people don't float away. But like, still, when you have that high of water, I mean, there's going to be like desecration of burials too. So you can imagine the new hauntings that were brought alone just from that.
For sure.
Well,
For sure.
talking about things like that, actually, there is another quick question in the chat, and it says, "Are you picking anything up on Gary or Fernando?"
So I can't read people.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you first and foremost, I can't read people unless, you know, somebody's with them that just like jumps in my face. So I am a clairvoyant medium. So like I can, if someone approaches me, yes. If someone like, you know, says, "Hey, I'm here, I need you to tell this person this or this or this or this," sure. But when it comes down to actually reading people like other mediums do, like with tarot and stuff like that, I can't do it. I'm sure I can flip a few tarot cards and tell you what they say, but as far as your own personal being, I'm sorry. That's
No.
That's
It's
the way my abilities work.
Actually, when you were talking about the above ground burials and things like that, you do know there's an island off Indonesia where they don't even bury their dead. They actually, when somebody dies, they take them across to the island, pick a nice spot for them, and just lay them there so they can enjoy the view. So you're actually walking out, all the remains and all the bodies are actually not buried at all. They're just sat around. And people go there to visit their loved ones all the time. So they'll be stepping over corpses. There was one time when I was involved in a TV show, and the reason I know about the Lalaurie Mansion is because that was one of the locations that we were going to shoot, but that got cut down when COVID came in. So that sort of, they never said it got cancelled, it got shelved, and it's just never come back. But I did mention
it was due to COVID, right?
Supposed to be there was another TV show that I was supposed to be involved with over here, where they were going to travel around here, and then the local area like Indonesia and places like that. And this is one of the locations that I mentioned. And can you imagine going over onto an island, spending the night investigating basically a cemetery where all the bodies are above ground and not buried at all? Where do you pick your spot?
Where do you plug your nose? Sounds more like it.
That was another thing, yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. That's, I don't know that I would want to investigate something like that.
It's something that I thought about only because of the very fact that I've never seen anything like that before, and I don't think I ever would again. You know what I mean? And yes, the worry and, you know, ooh, what are you facing if you do something like that? But when you think about some people investigating a cemetery and everything, you know, all the spirits or the bodies are like 8 foot, 10 foot down and whatever, and they're still picking up stuff. Can you imagine when you're right beside one of them, you put a bloody K2 right near them, or a trifield meter, or whatever you're doing? You've got 10 foot less earth between you and the target object. What are you going to get then?
I mean, definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's also different for me because, like, you know, I see these things and feel these things and stuff like that. Whereas, like, your normal paranormal investigator would be like, oh, this K2's going off. So, like, that's something that I think about as well. Like Waverly Hills, I'm going to have like a huge respect for it. But there's one that I will probably never touch, and that's Trans Allegheny. And that's simply because of the way people were treated there. And I would pick up on all of that energy. So it's different for me.
It's funny you mentioned Trans Allegheny. I've actually got an open invitation to investigate there whenever I get to America. I've just got to reach out to a certain person, and they will open the doors for me for a private investigation. That being said, that invitation was made a long while back. I don't know whether they are still involved, but I will certainly if I get over there, I will be looking at that one. Obviously, I don't have the same issues that you have where you're opening yourself up to a lot of stuff like that. I'm just in it purely for the investigative side of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So MJ said, have anybody's animals come forward to you? Have you seen,
Mm.
you know, yeah. There you go,
Yeah.
MJ.
So interestingly enough, majority of the animal spirits I've seen are actually cats. Um,
Hmm.
the there's one that I saw in front of Sorrel Weed House in Savannah. Which originally when I saw it, I thought I was going crazy. But I'm
Jeez.
on a tour. This is one of my very first, like, I'm training. I'm carrying the backpack. That's all I'm doing. I'm listening. Well, we had people on the tour, and I go to set down my backpack right in front of Sorrel Weed House, and I see a freaking cat go around my leg, and then just isn't there anymore. I'm looking around. I'm freaking out. And I'm like, okay, whatever, maybe I'm just tripping. And I look back in front of me, and the guy in front of me, his face is just flush. And he's
Mm.
like, did you see that freaking cat? I was like, okay. So I wasn't the only one that saw it. So yeah, and then there's
Oh wow, you have
actually,
somebody to confirm too. Damn,
hmm yeah. So
that's
I
rough.
thought I was just freaking out. I thought it was just, you know, but yeah. And then
Jeez.
actually, interestingly enough, I've seen a cat in my house once or twice. um but with like particular people with their animals and stuff like that, we've had a dog that had just recently passed. That was, people had come on my tour and their dog had just recently passed like a couple days before, and that dog was actually on tour with them.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Damn.
yeah, so it does happen.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, we are sort of running out of time. So I think we'll let you again tell everybody about your socials and things like that, and where they can get in contact with you if they're interested in one of these tours that's coming up. And
Oh man. Well,
I feel like I like stubbed your toe mentally, like
not my
like
no,
toe.
that's what's
no, no. It's like, you were the Grinch for Christmas.
or the Krampus for Christmas.
Oh, there you
Anyway,
go. There you go.
Oh yeah.
but
Oh
no,
man.
guys. I don't know if my name's up there or not, but it's Joshua Haney. If you go, majority of the place that I post is Facebook. So if you go over to Facebook and you type in Joshua Haney, you'll see what looks like a giant clown mouth with lights in it, and you'll see me standing in the center. That is my basis social media. That is my Facebook, Joshua Haney. You guys can pop it in. I'm, oddly enough, there's not too many of me. Um, but within my profile, there's a link tree, and
Mm.
that has literally everything. Now it has my socials, it has my Instagram, my TikTok. It has some investigations that I've done. It has some of the podcasts that I've done about the spirit guides that we talked about. And along with that, you have Shadowlands Adventures. Excuse me, American Shadowlands. That is this particular um, tour list that we were talking about.
Mm.
You can click on it. You guys, it's probably not going to be bookable right now, but if you follow me on socials, I am going to be posted when these particular events are going to be bookable. So just pay attention. And if you guys are interested in any of the things that I said, please come see me. We'll have a great time and we'll just delve in history together. And that's what I'm all about, and that's what I'm here for.
Well,
No.
everybody is super keen. There's everybody in the chat's turn around saying thank you for spending some time with us. They've absolutely, what have we got? Absolutely loved the show. It's been fantastic. Excellent episode. I absolutely enjoyed this one. Yeah, they all loved you, mate. So It was awesome.
Thank
and
you
I
guys so
hope
much for having me.
well, I was going to say, do you want to come back on sometime soon and we have some more chats?
Sure. Just let me know when. I'll write it on my calendar.
Sounds good.
I'm
Sounds
gonna write
good.
down all about
And
Skinwalker Ranch.
definitely, once all of these places are available for booking, I'm gonna see. You know what? It'll be fun to see what everybody would like me to go to, and I could definitely strap a camera on my chest and just walk around in one of these. You know.
There you go, everybody. If you want to see Fernando with a strap on, you know where to go.
Oh my god. Oh shoot.
You fell right into that
Gary.
one, dude.
I don't know if that
Gary.
means the same in Australia as it does here, but
It does.
Oh man. But yeah,
Boing,
definitely
boing, boing.
that I'm gonna make one of those locations. That's for sure. That's for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on a sec. We've had a comment about a strap on. Have a look. We've got to put this one up. Yeah.
Oh my
From
god.
the chat. Thanks, Josh. Please come back. Love watching the Shadows team. Fernando, strap it.
Oh, there you go. I will do that.
Boing. On that
Oh,
really
I'll be
man.
bad
back,
note,
but it won't be.
time
It,
for us
it won't
to
be for
go.
the strap.
Oh man. Jeremy missed the finale of this one. That's for sure.
All right,
Oh, man.
guys. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we're actually enjoying doing the live stream, so we are going to start doing more regular live streams as well as our recordings and everything like that. So, and I am looking into doing a cross feed so we can actually fire this across to the Static Echoes podcast as well. So it's going to go across all of the different ones. I'll have to monitor 2 different chat rooms then. So we'll see how that one goes, because there's about 2.5 times the subscriber count on that one. So we will see how it goes. We've got game over. Good night all. Hey everyone, strap it. All right, on that, I'm going to stop before this deteriorates into something really bad.
Oh man.
See you, everyone. See ya.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you guys.